the 15th Amendment guaranteed everyone the right to vote, by 1957 only 20% of African Americans voted due to discrimination. People were required by state to take poll taxes and literacy tests. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed discrimination in employment and public accommodations which were based on race, culture, and religion. In 1965, a murder was taken on by a state trooper on a voting rights activist. There was a massive protest march in Selma, Alabama after. This is when Lyndon B. Johnson pressed Congress in the following speech to pass a voting rights bill. Johnson called Americans to eliminate from this nation every trace of discrimination and oppression that has based upon race or color, and the following speech adopted the "We Shall Overcome" slogan of the civil rights activists. Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 into law on August 6th. At times, history and fate meet a single time in a single place to shape a turning point in man's unending search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Appomattox. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. Their long-suffering men and women peacefully protested the denial of their rights as Americans. Many of them were brutally assaulted. One good man, a man of God, was killed. There is no cause for pride in what has happened in Selma. There is no cause for self-satisfaction in our democracy and what's happening here tonight. For the cries of pain and the hymns and protests of oppressed people have summoned into convocation all the majesty of his great government, the government of the greatest nation on earth. Our mission is at once the oldest and most basic of this country: to right wrong, to do justice, to serve man in our time. We have come to live with the moments of great crisis. Our lives have been marked with debate about great issues of war and peace, issues of prosperity and oppression. There is no Negro problem. There is no Southern problem. There is no Northern problem. There is only an American problem. And we met here tonight as Americans, not as Democrats or Republicans. We were met here as Americans to solve that problem. This is the first nation in the history of the world to be found with a purpose. This time, on this issue, there must be no delay or no hesitation or no compromise with our purpose. We must not refuse to protect the right of every American to vote in every election that he may desire to participate in. We must not wait after 8 months before we get a bill. We have already waited 100 years and more, and the time for waiting is gone. It is the effort of American Negroes to secure for themselves the full blessings of American life. Their cause must be our cause too, because it's not just Negroes, but really it's all of us. We must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice, and we shall overcome.